Start stable, stay stable. We talk so much about posture, and guys gotta have good posture from their eyes down to their toes. So we're rooting the toes, we've got the stomach good, we got the glutes turned down, we got the posture good, and we got the eyes and the nose all facing slightly upward. And we need to start there, but then we also need to stay there, because anyone can get into good posture, but if you can maintain it and stay in it, then we can start stable and stay stable. And that's through all of your exercises, your drills, your warm-ups, everything that you're doing. Continue to pattern that, and that's going to be awesome, because it's foundational, right? We got to start with health. We got to start with stability. We got to start with the fundamentals and the movements and everything we teach. But this one I just came up with, so I love it. Start stable, but stay stable, because you're going to lose focus. You're going to lose, like I just saw, so Cooper was doing it with his resistance bands. He was going through an exercise with external rotation where it was assisted up because it was a really heavy band. And then he tried to fight it on the way down for the D cell. And I noticed his eyes were down and he was focusing. He was locked in on a small target, which is great. But also we can improve that by having the head and the eyes up to match the entire posture from all the way from the nose down to the toes. I wanted to give you guys some shade. Actually, I want to give me some shade because it's gonna be like 96 all week. Okay, so I just love the way we do things, health first, because, and if you're struggling with velo or feel or strength output or command or whatever it is, pay attention, because every day we're checking on these guys. How much sleep did you get last night? What's your arm care score say? Like, what are your strength numbers? And if you don't have an arm care dynamometer, which you don't have to use our code and everything else, we highly recommend it. But what you can do is grip strength test. You could do push-ups. I mean, something as simple as push-ups. Like, what that would look like is, you know, every morning when I wake up or every day before a workout, I know I can bust out 20 push-ups and it feels incredible. Or I can max out at 35 and I feel incredible. If you do a max out in push-ups, you're not gonna get really fatigued. You'll feel fatigued in that moment, but you'll recover quick because it's just not a lot to your nervous system. But if you know you can normally rep out 33 and it's super easy and you feel fresh, and then you come in one day and you can only do like 30 and you feel super dog tired, that's a good indication that your body is not good to go for that day. So what do? You decrease volume, which means either reps and or intensity and or weight, or like could be a combination of, with your throws and with your workouts and your warm-ups and everything else. And so we just have so much more data. So literally every guy in our program, remote or in our summer program, is getting a customized approach based on that. So it's continually updated through conversation, through, hey, I don't feel so well, let's look at the data, let's dive in. And you guys can do it at home too, like no matter where you're at. Even our guys, we tell them, and remote guys if you're watching, and summer guys if you're watching this. If you're on your own, if you're at home, if you're at a game, whatever it is, and you're not feeling up to snuff, what is your benchmark? Are you tracking your wellness score? Where are you normally? And where are you today? Do you have other data you can track if you don't have the technology? So constantly be looking at those numbers so that you can evaluate and self-correct as much as possible. And obviously if you're working with us, then reach out to us and ask your coach. But if you're not, it doesn't matter. You just gotta have that benchmark, because there's just so much more that we can do. And if we're looking at long-term, it's awesome because we can know, hey, we got a lot of data and it shows that your scores are normally here, but you're down here. So now for the next week, we gotta be, you know, whatever it is, fill in the blank. We can adjust your program, more sleep, more reps, whatever it is, so that the following week we can go and push more. And then the next month we can push more. And then here's what it looks like long-term. And that's where we see the results, because when you're in it, sometimes it can be super frustrating and feel super slow. But when you zoom out and you look more long-term, then you can see, okay, here's where my data is and where it's been, and here's where it's going. And then here's what I'm gonna do, so that we can, you know, pattern in or work into your program 3 or 4 weeks of super high intensity, have a deload week to give you some rest and refresh, see how that goes within those weeks, and if you're responding, and any tweaks that we need. So I just love that we're getting so much data and doing it from a health standpoint, because with the health and with the data and obviously the mechanics and we see guys, then we just know so much more precisely how to program everybody and everything and every rep and every day. Today was another good day. So to close, I mean, because Mondays are, hey, let's reassess, see where you're at, and then move forward for the week and freaking go. It's go time. Anyways, what I want to close with was because a lot of times in the afternoon, I'm talking to you guys. Anyone that's trying to join our remote program, join us for the summers or whatever it is, I'm talking to you guys and or your parents and just kind of seeing what guys are struggling with. And the number one struggle I see with guys that are a really good fit for what we do and that need and want what we do and want to see the results and feel what it's like to move easily and effortlessly is they're just piecing things together. You go on YouTube, you go on TikTok, Instagram, and you find this drill, and you find that drill, and you find this lift, and you find this mobility routine. But at the end of the day, you've got this 45, hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour routine that you're doing multiple times a week for no rhyme or reason, other than it works for some people. But how would it feel if you found the program that worked for you, the program that was tailored to you and your mechanics and your body and your schedule? Because that's what we do with guys. So in our remote program, from anywhere in the world, we've got guys from all over the world. What we do is we figure out what you need to do, at what time, at what intensity, based on your movement and your mechanics, so that you can move so much more easily and effortlessly, so that we can increase velocity while decreasing risk of injury and intensity. And that is our secret sauce, because it's customized to you. And we start from the source, which is a foundation of health and then a foundation from a movement standpoint of your spine. Because whatever you're trying to do with your arm or your head or your legs is going to be dictated by your spine. Because if I tilt my spine forward, all my weight goes into my toes. When all my weight is into my toes, I move much differently than if my weight is centered and I find center of gravity. So what are the drills that I need to do to figure that out? How does my body need to figure that out and get to that point? Because it's different for everybody. So that's what we're doing. And that's why it's so important to have your own program that's customized to you with the foundation of health so you can stay healthy. And then with a foundation of movement from your spine. And that's what we call being spine dominant. The alternative is what we call limb dominant. It's a term I made up because it's the opposite of trying to use your spine. It's using your legs and using your arms and using your head. And you look at all these pitchers who don't move effortlessly, don't move smoothly, have a hard time repeating and being really effortless, don't look athletic, don't look whippy, any of those things that you're trying to do, because they're trying to use all their limbs. And they look like they're using their limbs and they're trying hard. It doesn't look very smooth and easy. And when we move from here, and we align this thing and move powerfully from this thing, and we get it centered just like a basketball, the middle of the diameter of a basketball, when it is straight up and down, and you spin that thing, it spins on your finger easily and effortlessly and looks like it's gonna go on for infinity. And then once it starts to lose its intensity and it loses its balance, it falls over because it's slowed down. And you don't wanna move slow, and you don't wanna fall over, and you don't wanna look not smooth, and you wanna keep going. You wanna be long in games, high in velocity, light in intensity, 0 on injury risk, and that's what we're doing for you. So I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of videos. You guys can always reach out to us, send us a DM on social media if you want to work with us remotely. But I mean, that's the process. We're trying to get you healthy, trying to get you moving from the spine. And then it's just a constant tweaking back and forth and testing of what's working best and building on top of that so that we can opportunity stack and get you to that point where it's inevitable you're going to throw hard, and then you do throw hard, and then you're throwing more because you're throwing harder. You're getting more appearances because you're throwing harder. You're consistently getting those appearances and lasting longer in games because you're throwing harder and you're staying healthy. Am I right? That's the goal. All right, we will see you guys on the next one.